Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. This is a video I've been trying to do for a long time, but I just haven't really found the time to do it. So understand, if you're new to the channel and watching this isn't exactly the video for you. It's more just a breakdown on how I use my build's badges. But if you find any use of this, plus toward the end of the video, I'll do a couple little breakdowns on what you should do as a big man, what you should do as a guard, what you should do as a guard who has really like little to none defensive badges. But anyway, and then also just to give you a couple little tips on the finishing, which I feel like applies to almost anybody who's like a slasher. But anyway, I'm gonna start with the defensive badges. I'll explain, this is what this video is really about, okay? So I'm explaining what I use on 2s, what I use on 3s, and then what I use on Pro-Am. Now, I'm not gonna explain what I use on MYCAREER. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory for MYCAREER. Put on stuff that, like, you know, gets you steals, gets you blocks, stuff like that. I mean, you're gonna want pickpocket, rim protector, yada yada, all that stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna start with the 2v2. This is my badge layout for 2v2. Simple as that. If I'm going against bigs, obviously I want as much rebounding help as possible. I don't need worm on this build. I'll explain that. I want to start by explaining that. So what worm is for, in my opinion, is for oversized bigs like around 7'2", 7'3", who don't have any speed to like get around a box out themselves. If you've watched any of my videos, you can see a couple times where I literally just get around the box out by just running around him and then getting like to the paint before the shot is up. That's the perk of having, you know, speed and being undersized. So I feel like this is a kind of a useless badge as far as when, you know, it says when boxed out, rebounders have more success swimming around and getting into successful rebound position. Like I said, I feel like it's more of an auto animated like animation where it's meant for bigs who like can't really run around a box or just, you know, finesse their own way through it. So I don't put any value into that. I'm gonna explain why I don't value moving truck or post move lockdown on 2s. This badge right here is the reason I don't value anything as far as like being backed down by anybody, because long story short, here's what's gonna happen. I mean, now if you want to talk about possibly like, oh, moving truck might make it so they have to burn more stamina to get you down low. That's the only thing I can see for the case made to be like why you would want to have this badge on, because in my opinion, this is what's going to happen if you run into a post scorer or like any just big oversized big who's going to try to back you down. And even if you're at the strength disadvantage too. Here's the thing. They're going to keep going into the paint until they can get you where they want you to be. And where they want you to be is exactly what this badge is for. So for me personally, I'm just like, yo, skip all the BS, get straight to where you want to go. But listen, you don't have an open shot by any means. Like this pogo stick, it allows you to bite on every single pump fake, every single anything, and this combined with the vertical contest where it's just hold left stick toward the hoop and then just keep tapping Y. Bro, you guys gotta check the video. I'm gonna put it in the description or the comments, one of the two, the link to the pogo stick video. Bro, this badge is unreal. Now, you might wonder why I have chase down artist on it for 2v2 as well. This badge activates at any given moment when you're like trying to catch up to somebody at the rim. So essentially what I do with this build, and I know a lot of you guys, not everybody who's watching right now and subbed has the exact same build as me. So I get that this video isn't exactly the best for just in general everybody watching, but I know it's going to help a lot of people, and hopefully you get a little bit of understanding for why I run certain badges that I run, and maybe it'll help you translate to what you have as a build as well. But anyway, chase down artist for 2v2. I want to explain why I run this on Hall of Fame. Now, first of all, that starts with me explaining why I only have rim protector on bronze. To me, I just feel like it doesn't make that big of an impact. If I am running 3s, however, what I will say is I drop this to silver and then rim protector to gold. And then it's helped a lot that I don't run any intimidator, just at the fact that I just feel like the badge doesn't work very well. I feel like your perimeter defense rating is just really what it rides on, and I just feel like intimidator only helps you like really contest like the smothered shots, like where people are shooting in your face essentially. And honestly, we should have known that too, because honestly it says while tightly guarding an opponent, which I guess if you want to say, I don't know, me personally, I feel like it doesn't help late contest. It doesn't help all that much just in general for your shot contest. But really what it helps for is maybe if somebody's like right on you, or if you're right on somebody, if you will. But anyway, for 3s we're talking. So essentially, okay, for 3s I constantly run chase down artist no matter what. Like that is staying on. Personally, these are the two badges that no matter what are staying on Hall of Fame, no matter what game mode I play. Just because Brick Wall is so big on how I run, like game mode wise, and then Chase Down Artist, it's so big as far as like hedge defense, bro. I can't even overstate enough. But anyway, for 3v3, I don't feel like you're gonna get beaten in the paint enough to like need Hall of Fame pogo stick. So I would recommend probably go with something like Silver. I would really recommend that. 2K Labs did a study on this too, and Silver is definitely like the best what's the word? Best way to ball on a budget, I guess, if you will, where you're getting your money's worth more for pogo stick on Silver. Like I said, they test the speed of like how quick you can jump. I don't know. There's some crazy dudes over there. they test a lot of stuff on, and you should definitely check it out if you haven't already. But anyway, back to the 3v3 discussion. Rim protector, you might as well. Obviously, this paired with Chase Down Artist helps quite a bit. If you feel like you really don't need pogo stick at all, just because you're not going to get targeted enough for people to win the game off you just getting back down in the 3v3 court for contested 2-point shots, then hey, maybe you go with something like this where you can just play insane hedge defense with this, bro. Like I'm talking with this badge layout right here, most of the time I just double team the guard, and then when the big man slowly rolls lumber into the paint, I just like get straight to him and block him from behind on a very good rate, to the point where I'll take it when you can just completely take away 3-pointers from the other team's arsenal if they have a big man who can't shoot. Now, at the end of the day, I don't know. I guess as far as what do you do about pick and pop, that's a story for another day. But anyway, for 3v3, this is something of a sort of nature badge layout that I would do. Or if you want to go something like this, long story short, I would probably go something like this. I wouldn't put too much value into pogo stick or, you know, tireless defender. At the end of the day, it's Park. Now, with this said, I want to talk about what I do for Pro-Am. This has to come completely off. Unfortunately, pogo stick, I put a lot of value in it on 2v2. Trust me, this for 2v2 is like my favorite badge no matter what. But as far as Team Pro-Am, it's a problem. You get a lot of fouls on Team Pro-Am. It's not a good thing to do. So with that said, the best way for you to play into your defense in Pro-Am, in my opinion, is definitely have Hall of Fame rim protector. So essentially, this is literally what I do for Pro-Am. Now, I put a lot of value into the box, rebound chaser, all that stuff for Team Pro-Am, because at the end of the day, I'm playing the 5. That's like, I'm the only big man, and that's what I do. So, and I gotta have brick wall. That's just a fact. I set the screen literally like 95% of the possessions. And then Chase Down Artist, this plays a huge factor in Team Pro-Am, especially if you have weak, like slow help defense in the corners where nobody's gonna really be able to help you on a roll, and it's just all up to you to help on screens and recover to the paint. Gotta have this badge. It's a beautiful thing. Now anyway, we'll just back out of this now. I'm gonna explain what I do for playmaking on 2v2 versus 3v3. This right here is my 3's layout. Break Starter isn't exactly the most necessary badge in my opinion. It's not really all that needed, but I haven't really tested it with none on because like I've just been kind of afraid to do that. But having it on bronze, there's really no problem with it at all. I make every single pass I need to, regardless of like where the defense is on me, where the defense is on my people getting down court. Downhill and quick first step. Gotta have these on gold no matter what for 3v3. Now, where the discussion changes a little bit is in 2v2, where obviously neither of these badges matter in 2v2. Like, there's literally not a single thing they help you with. So what do? I put gold unpluckable on, or if you want to get crazy and you're ISOing with this build, then I would suggest do something like this, where if they're just completely double teaming you, especially when you have your takeover on. I have this happen a lot when I'm ISOing. And my teammate has Flashy Passer as well on Hall of Fame, just because obviously it helps me get my takeover really quick. Boom, then they start doubling me because I have my takeover on. Now I got a wide open teammate. Hit him with a flashy pass is going to help his takeover tremendously too. Now, if you can't deal with that, honestly, and it's too hard to, like it's just too much of a struggle, then I'd probably just take it off completely. If you only have it on bronze, it's not even be worth doing. So, to which case, go ahead and choose what your bronze badge will be at that point. And maybe just post spin technician. But anyway, and then for 3v3 Pro-Am, I would suggest go with something like this as well. Not 3v3 Pro-Am, 5v5. I would keep it the same exact thing as you do for 3s, regardless of what you do. Maybe if your build doesn't have the highest pass accuracy, then maybe go with something like this as well. But I tested this, and really it's not that big a difference. I just feel like Break Starter might even just be a useless badge in this game, just because I would put it like this. Outlet passes are the OP thing about this game. It's not the badge itself. So anyway, regardless, I would just go with that. Shooting badge. constantly, no matter what. I have it on slippery off ball. It helps the rolls. It helps everything with the speed on the slips, the rolls, all that stuff. So not too much to explain right here. It helps a lot off that. So anyway, now here's where the interesting stuff happens. Now I'm gonna just take them off completely and just explain 2v2, 3v3, and then Pro-Am. So depends what the nature of the game is. Now, if I'm ISOing in 2v2, or just ISOing in general, Fancy Footwork's going on Hall of Fame. Obviously, no matter what, contact finisher stays on Hall of Fame. And also, not for everybody. I understand if you don't feel this way, but no matter what, for me, slithery finisher stays on Hall of Fame too, regardless of the the game mode, 2v2, 3v3, 5v5, Pro-Am. Simple as that. It stays on no matter what. Now, this is where things get a little interesting, because sometimes I like to run Giant Slayer, sometimes I don't. I usually keep this on bronze just to see it activate if I ever go against a 7-3 big. Now keep in mind, this is all just straight ISO. Consistent finisher got to be on Hall of Fame. That's like a no doubt, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And then obviously if I'm ISOing, I don't put too much stock in Lob City finisher because the ball's always in my hands. So I generally try to go with something like this right here. And then maybe a little bit of Acrobat as well. Now, sometimes I completely take Relentless off and just go with like Silver Pro Touch, but honestly, I don't even see Pro Touch activate very often. Maybe I just suck at timing layups, who knows? But anyway, like I said, for ISOing anywhere, I'd probably do this. But if you're not going to like ISO at all and you're just setting screens, I wouldn't touch Fancy Footwork at all. It's just more of like a ball in your hands type thing where it just kind of needs to be there. And with that said, if you're setting picks and rolling a lot, I would definitely rock this no matter what. Now we're kind of into the 3v3 discussion, or even just 2v2. I'm kind of splitting it up because my game style, it depends who I'm running with. So I'll just explain it like this, like depending on what I'm doing offensively. If I'm just setting picks, simple as that. I run something like this basically all the time. Basically it's as simple as if I'm ISOing, boom, swap like that. If I'm setting picks, simple as that. I just swap it right there. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward like that. Anyway, so like I said, I give a brief overview as far as like what to do when you have a budget on defense, and then B, what you should do if you have like a huge big man. So I'll do that real quick and then we'll just get right through that. If you have like 6 defensive badges and you're a guard, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Go with like clamps and pick dodger, simple as that. People sleep on pick dodger just because they'd be like, oh, I'm getting railed by screens all day, bro, like this badge sucks. Nah, because you get hit by them even more when you don't have it on. Look, screens are OP and you have to do something to counter it. Like, you're just going to get screened all day until your guard gets open, or your matchup gets open if you don't have this badge. And even if you do have this badge, they're still gonna do it, but at least you keep a good rate of it. Now, if you're not that big of a believer in pick dodger, or at least if you think like its only like active use is on bronze, or if you even have 3 gold badges, or like 9 defensive badges as a guard, I would suggest go something like this. Definitely put Tireless Defender on as a guard, because when you're getting hit by all those screens, bro, and then you're blinking red and you're still getting run through all the screens, it is tough to guard them, bro. And nonetheless, like, even catch up to somebody and contest them. Now you mentioned like, oh, dude gets open and you gotta jump at him. Well, now you jump and now you're completely out of the play if he doesn't shoot it. Like, dude can just run wherever he needs to. Now, let's talk if you have like a backcourt lockdown. I would go something like this right here. Probably go Hall of Fame pickpocket, obviously, because you have good defense. I would highly suggest, if you're a guard, to try chase down artist as well. I don't know, I shouldn't speak from my own experience, but I will say with my 6'5" pure lock, now granted he has like crazy speed, crazy vert, all that stuff, and it's just so easy to like get chase downs, and maybe that's a factor of the player. But I would say if you can try this as a pure lock, or not even pure lockdown, like a two-way sharp, if you can run a badge layout like this, I think that's the move. You have 20 defensive badges, or if you have 21, boom, slap that on. Simple as that. I don't think you should value Interceptor or Intimidator much. Lightning Reflexes, I still haven't tested out, but obviously I can't speak for this, so I would just say that. Now, if you are a big man, right, this is what I'm going to say. Obviously, you're going to need Brick Wall, you need Box, you need Rebound Chaser. If you want to go with, and you might even have like a badge layout like I do right here, where you have like 21 defensive badges, this is what I'm going to say. Same thing as me, you don't need Rim Protector very high. Obviously, you're even bigger, so like there's really no like huge value in it. I would even say if you try Chase Down Artist, bro, maybe it'll make it so you can actually play hedge defense. I don't know how tall you are. I feel like 7'3". Maybe you should just like, I'm sure if you're 7'3", you've already given up on trying to play any help defense. As soon as you step up, that big man you're guarding, if he's not gigantic either, then you're just getting rolled on all day. But hey, I mean, if you're playing other 7'3s, I'll say this is a huge badge to have, because then you can recover to the paint, you can actually help on screens, and that's a really nice thing to have. I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, I don't think you should put too much value in pogo stick because you're already gigantic, so hands up defense works decently for you. I would say you probably need worm, honestly, as a 7'3", because you really aren't fast enough to get around the box outs very good. So anyway, I'll just leave it at that. Like I said, I want to give a quick little overview for the defensive badges as far as like what everybody else should do. And then for finishing, I feel like it stays the same as far as like depending on what type of player you are. The only thing I would change maybe is if you don't catch a lot of lobs and you're a guard, obviously do something like this. But yeah, for the most part, slithery finisher is a great badge. So is contact finisher. Consistent, you need no matter what build you are, in my opinion. I mean, it's hard to time layups out here, bro. So to have this on Hall of Fame is a huge impact. And then if you're a guard like below 6'7" or so, then I would definitely suggest go Hall of Fame Giant Slayer. Definitely impacts you quite a bit. Relentless, I don't think it's really the biggest deal. If you're on Pro-Am, now actually I forgot to mention something. I turn Relentless to like silver when I'm running Pro-Am, just because after all the dunks add up and all the dunks in traffic, you need something to conserve your stamina, because it's tough out there. It's tough out there trying to keep your stamina on the threes, or in the 5v5 Pro-Am. But anyway, that's all for the vid. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, all that good stuff. Hey, I got the mixtape coming tomorrow. I promise, no matter what, it's coming tomorrow. I've had a lot of setbacks as far as like, I tried to get like a MacBook Pro today, and bro, as I'm recording this, soon as I'm done with it, bro, I'm returning that thing. It is trash. It's so hard to make the mixtape on that, bro, and I'm probably just gonna get an iPad and just simple as that, work with that. But anyway, aside from that, hope you all enjoyed the video. Appreciate you watching. If you did, feel free to drop a comment. Put YouTube in the comments if you made it to the end of the vid. But hey, other than that, hope you all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.